This is a free podcast from the BBC. For more information, you can go to our website, bbc.co.uk/Radio 2.
Very nice. Now then, I have with me two of my underlings, Bayons, and they have put themselves in a sporting manner outside the fish cake and the cottage pie.
Very tasty fish cake, very nice.
And a very nice
very healthy, of course.
A tribute to the grandest vegetable of them all.
It's not a vegetable, I'm
The
sure.
old spud. It's a root vegetable.
All right.
It must count. My mother always wanted to be a vegetarian on conscience grounds, but she only liked potatoes, so it was a bit of a drawback.
My next-door neighbour's mother, who was upper class, she didn't like vegetables, so she never cooked them for her children, because she didn't like them. And I said to him once, well, what did you eat when you were a kid? He said, steaks, chops and Mars bars. My spinster aunts, Ginty and Morag, were strictly brought up in Edinburgh to believe that sex is what coal is delivered in, says Dickie Tummy. They were not allowed to go upstairs on a bus wearing a skirt, and they were taught how to get out of a Mini keeping their knees together. Well, this is hard. I'd hate to be a woman trying to get out of a car. Now they want to have some fun. So could Charlie No drive the old route master up to Stockbridge and show them what they were missing upstairs on an omnibus?
Oh, yes, I'll show you upstairs on a bus, no problem at all.
You have to go up the stairs first.
Do I?
Yes. You're not going to stand there in the well of the thing looking up ladies' skirts.
Yeah, the conductor has to keep a careful eye on proceedings in case anybody slips or falls.
Oh, I see. That's the reason. I knew there'd be a health and safety reason.
Conductor bringing up the rear at all times.
No.
Why do you think he bought the bus? Cool.
Did you say that Charlie No was wearing a pullover yesterday? You could be thrown out of the Cardigan Club for gross negligence.
I was not. No, most certainly not. Sarah suggested I might have my cardigan on yesterday. It was far too hot for a cardigan yesterday.
You know the old phrase, when in a cardigan, you look hardigan.
I'll remember it, yeah.
Thank you, Ralphie.
See, my cardigan went off for winter maintenance and it's not back yet, but it's just about ready.
Would you not have it destroyed?
For all our sakes.
What, you mainly put down?
It'll probably make a run for it. Alison Ordnance, I've decided to make the three of you the stars of my comic strip story.
Oh, great.
Supernove and Splot Woman with their trusty sidekick, Beige Boy.
I like the billing. This is very good, yes.
Beige boy. What
course.
is your special talent?
Superheroes traditionally go around solving crimes and righting wrongs, but I know you already have busy schedules. That's true. We're a bit like Ringo Starr that way. We're too busy to sign off.
Don't send me no objects.
Sorry, what's he busy doing? So he has been busy for years. So I've taken pity and will depict you saving the world by that little-known method. Scoffing snorkers and cream cakes and generally being self-indulgent. Self-indulgent? No, I don't think so.
The sacrifices we make.
We have to eat this. People send it in. It is our duty.
It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Look, lads, even I don't believe this.
At least two of you are a bit old to be flying around like Superman, so I'll tone it down a bit. Have you travelling BA first class instead. A little more sedate. Off you go, fellas. Save the newsreader. Save the world. Infinity and the fireside. Alison, you've got all the phrases. What ho, me old hysterical horticulturalist. Can I say how much I enjoyed your low-key, naturalistic homage to the day of the Triffids yesterday? Fake news broadcasts about Japanese knotwood, or jippy-kneed nose wheezes, or something, eaten by rampaging insects. Very Orson Welles. And what a marvellous production. Every line spot on, every character perfect, from knitwear Noves, doom-saying newsreader, Lissam Lynn's plucky wren, and your own disbelieving boffin in the style of old Quatermass. And the MacGuffin you chose for your story, Japanese knotwood, indeed, and the super insect that eats it. That'll take people's minds off the carrot crunch, or whatever it is. And did I hear Lynn mention my old chum, Bootle Oriole, in the cast?
Yes, I did.
I missed him. What part did he do? Was he the knock-kneed Japanese insect expert? He'd be good at that. And keep me in mind if you're doing a sequel. I do a great death by nettle scene. I can believe that. I can believe that.
He wouldn't overact, would he?
Hmm?
He wouldn't overact, would he? You don't
No.
think he'd
Oh, no.
overrated-
He would have to wear a cravat. of course.
Minimalist. It's keeping it very
Wear
small.
a cravat and a velvet, well, sort of. He'd have to have a big
Coat,
hat,
cape.
a Homburg,
Yeah.
and he'd have to have a cloak.
Right.
And he'd have to come in and say things like, I'm in a mood, I warn you.
And they're coming at us out of the sun.
Oh, no.
Tora, tora, tora. All the love in the world. That's what we have here. Is that not so?
Yes.
Underlings?
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and clear off.
Don't talk to me now.
Yeah, don't send me any... I won't sign anything. Mike Kelly says, I've just heard the news thing by what's-his-name.
What?
Saying the
Gave
Maltese...
us all.
Not so much peace and love now.
No, saying the Malteser adverts to be banned because the regulators don't believe the content is correct. Does this mean the defenders of our rights believe that cars can fly, as shown in any number of ads? I don't know. There is a certain inconsistency here.
Yeah, they're very, very touchy on health claims, though. You can't say something's low-fat if it isn't or is questionable at all. They're very, very...
Health, you think, and what about safety? Because there's nothing safe about a car flying.
Yeah. But I'm not interested in that. But on the other hand, if they want a second opinion on the chocolates, send them round and we'll make an assessment, won't we?
He's always available, isn't he?
He is.
A bit too available for the provender. Yesterday. Yesterday was a day to remember, was it not, chums? Oh, I could have done with a little more salt and pepper on the...
on the pie?
Yeah, quite. On the
I thought it was just
pie.
perfect.
Did you? You don't like it spicy?
No, I don't like salt and pepper.
That pie kept me going till lunchtime, fine style.
It did, well,
Apart from that Mars bar you had to have at 11.
Oh, yeah.
and the fish cake you had
Yeah,
as well.
well, yeah.
And the big boss of BBC publications. You probably haven't got an autobiography out either, have you, Novi?
Well, I've been working on it for some years now.
Well, try and get it out quickly, because
I've reached the end of page 2.
it's the new thing, autobiography. There's about 45,000 of them out by nearly everybody in show business. But the first draft of your new cookbook. Novelicious Nosh.
Certainly. It's all low fat, of course.
And, of course, everybody's contributed. The John Marsh seafood splendour served on a yellow cravat, containing several endangered species, including the old fool himself. The bowls, pie and a pint trifle, a Welsh delicacy. Well, there's nothing delicate about the Welsh. And the Dedicoat Saturday Night Balti special.
Oh, you don't want that.
Yeah. A little information light, eat a large curry, drink a vat of cheap plonk, stop on the way home, bend over and pebble dash the vicarage. Deny responsibility.
Well, yeah.
And finally, Wogan Snorkers. Well, we all know he is. Very nice. Things have never been the same in France since 1789, have they? And listen, are you happy with... I mean, we know that the good lady can pronounce freely anything in Welsh, and there's nobody going to argue with her. But the Scots pronunciation, Charles, is it accurate?
Lynn's pronunciations are second to none, it says here.
But it does give me a good clip round the ear if I say anything wrong.
Yes. We have the occasional heated discussion on the subject, but no,
Yes.
her strike rate is marvellous.
Auchenclin.
Auchenkilns.
Auchenmusty. Sarah said that Charlie Nove was very brave and hardy, for he came into work today without his zip-up cardie. While Linny, on the other hand, was looking rather cute. She came into work dressed in an orange boiler suit. She didn't, she's not. She's in a russet-coloured number with a zip.
Fetching and autumnal.
It's a zip. She's pulled it down.
Above.
Excellent.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Thank God she was wearing a vest.
You're listening to the Wake Up to Wogan podcast from BBC Radio 2.
I love to hear Charles read the news. He reminds me of Wallace and Gromit. For every time he reads his script, he makes me want to have a grand day. Tombola.
I'm sending the boys round for that one.
That's no.
Get me his address.
Come on, Tom. Yeah, they're never foolish enough to give their real names, are they?
That, isn't it?
May I say, you may indeed, Ralphie, indeed, as often as you like. What an attractive team you've surrounded yourself with.
Which team is this?
I wish you could see the blush mantled cheeks of my team. So young and yet so polite and caring to those around them. Well, I'm not... Do tell Charlie to watch those chips and donuts. It'd be a shame if his trim figure was ruined. Do you think there's an element of irony in this? Or a heavy sarcasm anywhere? Can you detect any...
No, it's all meant with peace and love.
The waistline ought to be protected from too many tempting nibbles. Don't talk to me. I've eaten like 4 horses for the last 2 days. I must have put on about 6 pounds.
The way you suffer for this programme, it really is.
No, I blame the daughter-in-law as well. I had to eat half a sheep last night. And as for Taffy Traffic, what a pretty little thing she has blossomed into.
Don't
there's
laugh. He's laughing.
What's he joking for?
Excuse me.
And what a lovely couple they make. Wouldn't it be nice? Now, here's a thought, everybody. Wouldn't it be nice if a little romance blossomed from their working relationship? I almost hear wedding bells in the distance.
What would your wife say to that then?
There may be one or two details to be
Okay.
resolved,
I
but the
see.
concept.
The idea is there. They're obviously... Well done, Terry. They're obviously there more for decoration than function. Shame it's radio and all wasted. The whole thing is ruined as soon as they open their mouths and attempt to talk. Oh, you see, why is it that always starts complimentary and ends up with the loaded sock behind the ear?
We must comfort ourselves. Come here while I kiss you.
Oh,
You too.
there's love in this room. And look, the National Cardigan Appreciation Club is delighted to announce BBC newsreading legend Carrie Nove is the 2008 Cardi Man of the Year.
Oh, marvellous.
He has a slightly worn, frayed at the edges, a bit past his best look of a great cardi wearer, enthused last year's winner, Lord Mantleson of the Mortgages. As he handed over the slightly off beige trophy to the proud recipient yesterday. You didn't mention this lavish ceremony at the Upper Diddlingham Women's Institute hot and rugby changing rooms. Well done, Charles.
Well, the cardigan, it's bearing out. It's gone a bit bobbly, actually. But what do you do when it goes bobbly?
The idea that there's something old-fashioned about a cardi. The cardi is right there on the cutting edge at the moment.
Absolutely.
It has to be slim-fitting, which suits me, of course. I'm not so sure about you.
Speechless.
A speechless newsreader? Good heavens.
A bobbly cardigan and...
Charles Nove, of all people, says Byron Bonnybanks, should be aware there's another diversionary news story this morning. Yes, we're trying to take your mind off the credit crunch by the voracious wee Japanese knotweed. There's a cure for baldness. What? A chemical previously thought to live only in the intestines. Oh, great. Terrific. Yes.
It's not going to end well, is it?
Is this going to be about bifidus digestivum? Ooh. Has been found to produce hair growth on the backs of nude mice. No, don't tell me they're
What
shaving.
about the rest of us?
Who's in charge of shaving the backs of mice? But you see, as Byron shrewdly points out, the problem is not bald backs.
Poor mice.
Yeah, honestly, it just... I nearly fell for that spoof item on the news about the knotweed. Charlie went a bit too far by using one of your tog's names for the authority. Dr. Rick Shaw, eh?
Dick! He was Dick Shaw.
There's no need for that.
Yes. I think I'm slightly worried about this bug they found that's going to cure the knotweed anyway, because apparently it sucks the life out of the knotweed. That was the quote. It sucks the life out of the knotweed.
Out of it, yeah.
Fast forward a few years, there's going to be a very, very voracious bug, isn't there, that's got all the life of the knotweed about it.
That's
it's
right.
going to be up and down the country, galloping up and down the country, going, ha!
Sucking the life out of your cabbage.
Are you about to say we're all doomed at any stage? Scottish accent.
Well, I think we may well be doomed. Aye, doomed.
When I think of the Wogan show, I think of Charles Nove's jumper. Okay. If I had a date with Miss Lynn Bowles...
Oh,
I heard that.
no. You weren't supposed to... Honestly.
Oh, trouble. You see... what ho, me old movers and shakers? Chuffer! Chuffer! Resting, of course, but awaiting the fiver, the white fiver, from wherever it may come. Your Blodwyn and Jock double act for the travel spots, as good as it ever was. They're as good as Brucey and Tess Daly. Lynn with her transporter, her train spotter headlines, or whatever they are, make me feel like I'm stuck in a traffic jam. I heard old Novi say, "It'll be cool in the wind," yesterday. He's a gift for putting one in the picture. Snap him up for the telly, put him in a lift to show inflation rising and falling. Thank you, Chuffer, and yes, I will take care with the dry stone walling next week. Because it's man's work, you know.
But also with your surgeon's hands, you've got to be careful. Wear gloves.
And I do hate getting dirt under the fingernails, but it's inevitable, I'm afraid, when dry stone walling.
He's so manly.
On Sarah Kennedy's show today, she played a song by the Dooleys.
Oh, no.
The listeners think that Charlie Nove should be strung up by the neck.
Yes.
It's Andrew Motion, he never lost it, did he?
That great hit, Have I Got You by the Dooleys, yes.
Yes. The Dooley sisters, do you remember them?
Oh, they were
And
marvellous.
the Nolan brothers.
Anne Dooley held the door open for me once at our Maida Vale studios. It was one of the highlights of my BBC career, you know.
I knew the Nolan brothers' father.
Did you now?
Yeah. And the mother. What?
And that never stopped them. Knowing you.
You'd think that would have held them back a bit, all right. But no, they went on to fortune and to fame.
Thank heavens.
So are you having the Botox topped up next week? Says Pauline. Pauline, damn it, how did you get to hear about that? Are you going for the latest procedure to come across the eyebrow transplant? Look, Pauline, peace and love, peace and love. That's what I say. Leave me alone. I've been wondering if manufacturers think we consumers are completely stupid. Yes, Dora Jar. Of course they do. For this sake, printed on the bottom of a pack of supermarket tiramisu, do not turn upside down. And peanuts, warning, contains nuts. A bread pudding, product will be hot after heating. And an iron, a Rowenta iron, do not iron clothes on body.
You're right.
I was just talking about children in need and the fact
fantastic.
that the bandaged CD is coming out on behalf of children in need with many a merry chorus from Togs and you know,
There's proper singers on there.
thrusting youngsters like Aled Jones, you know, doing his best to keep it in tune. And you yourself, I know, Alex Lester. What are you doing on Bandage?
My brother. I know, poor old Terry Scott. Exactly, the legacy of Terry Scott lives on through me. I was very surprised, but also honoured, frankly, to be asked.
No, we're delighted to have you on. That's terrific. And
I also discovered there's something called auto-tune.
Huh?
Yes.
What does that do?
You wouldn't need that, Terry.
No, I'm perfect
I think
pitch.
probably Aled, maybe, and Claire Teal, maybe, but some of us proper singers, apparently it's some machine that they feed you in and then you come out in tune the other side. It's like a sausage machine. So therefore, also, I've never realised exactly how complicated and also energetic singing needs to be. I was sweating like a bull by the time I was finished.
I was drained of all emotion. I was only singing Little Drummer Boy.
Pum-pum-pum-pum. You were doing the Bing. Oh, fantastic.
No,
You're
I was
channeling Bing.
I know, I was doing the David Bowie bit.
Oh, really?
Aled was doing Bing.
He does have a fart.
It's all before us, I'll tell you that.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. And also, they very kindly asked me to do a picture for them.
Ah.
So I thought it had to be one of those 60s jumping in the air type. You know, those without the Beatles and Dave Clark 5.
Yeah.
Sort of jumping in the air thing. So after my show about 6:15 one morning a couple of weeks ago, he went down the office with the camera to try and picture me mid-air. I think it must be the knees. The gravity was rather harder that day.
How high did you get up?
About 2 inches. I guess there was a sort of thundering crash, and people are thinking there's been some seismic activity in West London. So we gave up. So I hung off a lamppost instead.
Well, look, I'm off to do some dry stone walling. So I'll see you when I see you.
There's no end to your skills, is there?
This was a podcast from BBC Radio 2. Don't forget you can also download free podcasts for Steve Wright, Russell Brand and Chris Evans. Get more information now at bbc.co.uk/radio2.
Wake up to roll.